Hi everybody, welcome to RoXolid Productions, where today we're going retro gaming with the Hyperkin Retron HD. And this is a variation of an existing console that they've had in the past, but it does a lot of really cool updates that I think you're really gonna like. Now, as you've seen in our unboxing videos, it is designed to play out of the box your original Nintendo Entertainment System games. So basically, the games from the big gray box that we have here. But unlike this monstrosity, you don't have to use one of these crappy adapters to hook it up to a modern TV such as this, where out of the box the Retron HD is equipped with an HDMI output. It can do both 4x3 or 16x9 depending on where you have the switch. Now it does come with everything that you need to get up and running right in the box. It is a complete system that includes what they call their cadet controller, and as you can see here, it is very much inspired by the original NES controller. They've updated the ergonomics on it to make it a lot more comfortable to hold. On the back of it, it has, a lot of people think these are humps. Actually, if you compare the thickness of the controller here to an original NES controller, it's the same thickness here. They thinned out this part, and that just gives you a more comfortable area to hold and grasp. They've also given a slight rounding to the corners here to make it easier so you don't have those points digging into your hands as you're gaming. They've also dog-eared the corners of the controller, very similar to the dog ear on the front of the system too. It's kind of a Hyperkin thing. It's one of their trademarks. Now, I mentioned HDMI, I mentioned flat panel just now, but this system does actually come with and is equipped with AV ports on the back too. So if you have an old style CRT TV or a tube TV or a projection TV, you can still hook it up with that. It won't give you the best picture, but it is a way for you to get this system working on those old style TVs. We are going to play some games for you right now too, and kind of give you a look and feel of what it actually plays like. If there's one game that everyone knows is a classic, is Super Mario Brothers, so that's where we are going to start. Color looks really good. No lag or delay or anything. Oh, that sounded a little off. Oh, gotta get the mushroom. Got it running back. The coins again sound a little bit off. The main theme sounds good. The video is very crisp and sharp, I have to admit that. Here again, the coins just don't sound right. They sound pitchy and off. The music seems pretty spot on. No noticeable lag or latency or anything along those lines, so pretty good there out of the gate for World 1-1. Let's go to 1-2. I just can't get past how off the coins are. And I know that it's silly, but it does bother me. And I was hoping that at a higher price tag, the Retron HD would do a better job at sound replication than the Gamerstech 8-bit HD. But honestly, they're about the same. Now, if you see here again, listening to the coin sounds, it's just a little bit pitchy. Overall, a pretty positive experience though, and we are going to warp on past Super Mario Brothers to Punch-Out! I'm sorry, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! Glass Joe looks way off color-wise there. That does not look good, and Mario looks way white too. This does not look good for me, at least. Just like on the Gamerstech 8-bit HD, this also sounds off, and if anything sounds and looks more off than that system did. Alright, going for a special counterpunch. Sit down. The animation on Mario just does not look good. I mean, not the animation, but the color palette. It just does not look like a good choice. He is way white from his face, and it kind of blends into his shirt. Hit him with the star punch. You are down again, Glass Joe. Glass Joe back up on the count of 1, making me his huckleberry, or wanting to. Who is your daddy and what does he do? And just like that, we are past Glass Joe. On to Von Kaiser. Von Kaiser, color looks a little bit better than Glass Joe did. Mario still looks off here. Audio is still off though too. Von Kaiser up on the 5 count. Goes for a big upper punch. He is sat down in 1:03. Hey, we are on to our championship bout. Taking on Piston Honda. His color looks better here than on the 8-bit HD from Gamers Tech. This is pretty accurate actually. This looks pretty good. Oof. Body blow, body blow, body blow, body blow. Alright, guys, try to see if we can knock him out. Oh, he counter punched, but he didn't do much damage to him. And he's back up. Piston Honda's tell is whenever you see his eyebrows kind of go up and down, that's how you know he's getting ready to throw a punch. Man, I got knocked down. He is handing me my ass on this one. Oh my goodness, we're going to round 2. Look at my eye. He beat the crap out of me. All right, he's got low energy. Mine is a little bit higher and I've only been knocked down once. This should be a quick second round. There we go. Got a star early, gonna hit and star punch. Oh, here he comes again. I missed the bread basket shot. Now, I want you guys, I'm going to zoom in right here. Look at Little Mac's eyes. Dude's got yellow freaking eyes. It's like he's Scott Farkas. And here you can take a look at what the foreground and background scrolling and everything look like. Now that we've taken the title in the first tier on Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, we're going to try to take on Dracula in Castlevania 3. Lightning crashes. A new brother dies. No. Very similar to previous Castlevania games where you've got your whip as your main weapon and you have a secondary weapon. Hearts are not life in this game. Hearts actually are, the more hearts you have, the more you can fire off a secondary weapon. A little bit of shimmering coming through the door there, but that's been pretty typical in all my playthroughs on any console. I don't know if they just call these skeletons or what, but whenever I see them I think of Staphylos from Legend of Zelda. Now look at that. If you saw the money bag, it was rather pink looking. See if we can find another one here coming up. I think there's another one up ahead. I'll try to show you that as well. The white looked a little bit off. Climbing the stairs, climbing the stairs, climbing the stairs. Got some holy water. That too kind of has a little bit of a pink hue to it. Get the big heart, move on up. I don't know that this game really gets the credit for the exploration aspects of it as far as what blocks break, Oh shoot, that was too fast to get that money bag for you guys to see that it's not a pure white. Oh! And actually that's about the sound that your character makes when you get hit. Oh! I want to know how the hell you get those candles up there, because I can't figure out how to get to it. These things are, I know it's supposed to be a Medusa's head, but I'm sorry. These things are the devil. I hate these things, and whoever designed them need to be drug out into a street and shot. Oh, no, oh. Wow, I could have died there. Now, if you see on the face of the clock too, again, has that pinkish hue to it, so not, the color palette on this one's a little bit off, but if you look at like the main character animation, the background scrolling, it is drawn well. The color palette is just off. And I think we've spent enough time here with the Belmont family. It works well. A little bit off color-wise. Game is very responsive. Looks great. It definitely is one of the better looking games to come out on the NES, and the Retron 1 HD does a great job of duplicating that. So we are now going to come down the stairs. I do want to see this real quick. There you saw it was not quite as white as could be. As I die, we are going to move on, and we are going to play some Donkey Kong. Do 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 do. It's interesting to see how Mario has changed over the years from this, where he wasn't even Mario, he was just Jumpman. Went to go rescue princesses and such. I'm still not Steve Wiebe. And this is the version of Donkey Kong that I actually got from, oh, and I died. I actually got this from Japan from the person that I bought my Sharp Famicom Twin disc system from. This does look sharp, and the audio, I mean, there's not much here, so there's not much to be off, but I mean, there's nothing that's off-putting on Donkey Kong. And one of the reasons, like I've mentioned before, that we throw Donkey Kong in here, yeah, it's not a labor-intensive game, but it is one that some clone systems do have an issue duplicating and emulating. Jump back over. Now, his sprite's not doing much, but man, the Donkey Kong animation just, I've always loved how that looks. It plays well. We're going to get through this level here real quick, and then we are going to move on to our final game of the review, and that will be Kirby's Adventure, the version that I got from Japan as well. And just like that, Donkey Kong is gone. The nice thing too on collecting Famicom games is a lot of times they're a lot cheaper. Now, like Kirby here, you can see the text and everything is in Japanese, so unfortunately as someone who does not read Japanese, I'm kind of up the creek. Now, Kirby was actually the largest game ever produced for the NES. It did come out late in the life cycle of the NES. Oh, and I just took a hit and lost my star. I'm back to normal. No one wants to be normal. So the story behind Kirby when he was made was Nintendo wanted a game that was easy for people to enjoy. They didn't want a difficult or challenging game. They wanted something where people could play and feel rather accomplished at, and that's basically where Kirby came from. Such an unassuming little puffball. His shape and everything was pretty much something that they came up with just as a placeholder, and they ended up loving it, and they stuck with it. And while Kirby is often thought of as a Nintendo property, he was actually developed by HAL Laboratories, who made other games such as Super Smash Bros. Kirby's Adventure works great, looks great, sounds decent. I mean, I haven't played this game enough on other systems to be able to tell whether or not the audio is off or not, but overall, this was a good experience on here. So there you have our gameplay on the Retron HD from Hyperkin, and it played pretty much everything that we threw at it, from classic platformers like Super Mario Brothers to run and guns like Contra, Punch-Out. Did not feel any real lag or latency there. Also, it's kind of cool that it will play games such as Kirby's Adventure using the 60 to 72 pin adapter. I've played the system on a couple different TVs, works great on all of them. Now, one thing of note, as we mentioned in the gameplay itself, the audio still seems a little off, like with some of the other systems that we've tested. If you take a look at our teaser video that we have out there that compares the 4 recent systems that we've tested, the Retron HD, the Gamerstech 8-bit HD, the Retron 5, and this bad boy here using this piece of crap, you can see how the audio starts and they're all in sync, but as the gameplay goes on, it gets more and more out of sync, and I'm thinking that has to do with the clock speed internally on these systems. Now, I don't know which one was better or worse as far as higher pitch. I didn't measure that. I do know to my ears it didn't sound quite right. Now, it looked great. The color palette looked very close to the original NES system, which I really liked. I appreciated that authentic feel as I was playing, and like I say, it played pretty much everything that I threw at it. For about a $50 price tag, it works and works well, and one of the cool things about it is Hyperkin stands behind their products too. Anytime I've ever had an issue with a Hyperkin product, whether it's been one of their controllers, whether it's been my Retron 5, all I've had to do, pick up the phone, give them a call, shoot them an email, hit them up on social media, and Hyperkin has had me taken care of. So I really do appreciate that fact too. Now, this is a lockdown system, unlike the Retron 5, so it's not like you're going to get future firmware updates. What you have out of the box is what you have. So what they got right, it works and works well. I love the style that they have on it and everything. The compatibility with the different accessories. The fact I could use my NES Advantage and it worked perfectly. The little details like the power and reset button, how close they duplicate what was on the original. What I'd like to see improved on it a little bit, the audio. Definitely the audio was off to me. Other systems provide, well, the Cadet is a very comfortable controller. It's not a $20 price tag difference controller to me. And at $50, the Retron 5 is $20 more than the 8-bit HD from Gamerstech, and that does include 2 controllers. They're very similar as far as functionality. Stylistically, they look differently, they feel differently in the hand. They're both about the same performance-wise, quite honestly to me. I'd like to see a second controller included. I do love the fact that for those who would hook it up to a tube-style TV or projection TV, it does have stereo outputs on it, so you don't need a Y harness. That is a bonus versus like the original, where you need a Y harness or a mono to stereo type cable to hook this up to a TV such as this. The HDMI cable that comes with it, it's about 3 feet long. I'm glad they include one. A 4 or 6 footer would be a little bit nicer. It is a low power draw unit, as I mentioned. It's playing using power off of my television, so it doesn't need a whole lot to get and keep running right out of the box. Overall, it's a really stout system. Now, make sure you stay subscribed to our channel. Just hit the subscribe button, because we are working on a shootout between the Retron HD that we have here and our recently reviewed Gamerstech 8-bit HD, which we've also mentioned here on the channel too. We're even going to compare it to Old Faithful and the Retron 5 too. Really interesting. Make sure you check out our sneak peek, like I mentioned, that kind of gives you an audio and visual difference between all 4 consoles. I was a little surprised at which one does the best job matching colors, which one sound-wise was better. It was an enlightening experience, and I'm sure you guys will enjoy it too. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to email us at roxsolidmail@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter at RoXolid Studios, and you can also follow us on Facebook at the link right there too. So again, we have the Retron HD from Hyperkin. It's a very good NES clone. Are there betters out there? Yeah, there are some ones that do things differently, but for this price point, like if you compare this to an AVS, night and day difference. The audio, the video is going to be better on an AVS, but at that point you're spending more than 3 times what this system here costs. For a budget-friendly system, it does a damn fine job, and it would be a good addition to anyone's collection. Thank you for watching. We'll see you soon.